So I graduated from law school without a job. What can I do now? This is a question many of you will be facing. If you are looking for jobs in 2021 and you want to graduate in 2021, it may still be the problem. But even otherwise, it's not just about the pandemic. I'm going to explain to you why it's not just about the pandemic. It's a problem which has been long lasting. And a lot of people graduate without a job and then really struggle to figure it out. And I hope today my presentation and what I'm going to tell you is going to make things easier. First, we need to understand why it is happening this way, and then we'll talk about the next step, which is what to do about it. Right? So this is the most asked question from fresh graduates in 2020. And it would be the same in 2021 based on the signals we are receiving so far, right? We don't really see any significant change in the market. Legal hiring market is quite slow. There are jobs, but people are reluctant to hire freshers. They are ready to pay a premium to hire people with more experience. But hiring freshers is a big question. Why do you think that is? Do you have any idea? Why do you think people are ready to hire people with experience and to train? People don't have time and money and resources. They need to be profitable quickly. They need to make sure every hire they make is profitable. That's the problem. The problem is made worse by the fact that most graduates do not have any marketable skills. What are marketable skills? Marketable skills are those that there is a demand in the market for those skills already. For example, do you think that I know the Contract Act is a marketable skill? If I know the Contract Act inside out, I know all the sections, I know all the case laws, is it a marketable skill? It's a good skill to have. Lawyers need to have it. But it's not something for which clients pay. Clients don't say, oh, you know the Contract Act, here, take 10,000 rupees. Okay? Correct? But drafting a contract is a marketable skill. And it's across the board like that. Company law, if you know the company law very well, that's not alone enough. Can you do company law compliances? That is a marketable skill. And this is a huge issue with our legal education system, that it does not teach marketable skills. So the people who are struggling to find a job, it's not really their fault, right? They have done what they were supposed to do, right? They were told that you pass these exams, do internships, do extracurricular activities, do moots, do debates and blah blah blah, and do everything, and you'll graduate with a job, right? That is the idea, correct? That's what I mean. When you joined law school, what signal did you get that you do well in law school, you get good marks? I mean, when you were in class 12, in class 10, people told you get good marks in class 10, class 12, your life will be sorted. And then it was in college that you do well in college by the parameters of college, that you pass your exams, you score well in exams, you do blah, 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 you should do moots, you should do this, you should do that. And people are realizing that they have done all of that and still they don't have jobs, right? So was it not supposed to be enough? Like I have done what you have asked me to do, 5 years of law school, 3 years of law school, whatever it is, I've done everything. Now, why is not this enough? Apparently, it's not enough. When you are hitting the job market, you realize that this is not enough, right? And a lot of law students used to graduate without jobs even before the lockdown. If you think this is happening only this year, it didn't happen before. Do you think it didn't happen before? Do you think this is happening? So people used to graduate without jobs even before the lockdown all the time. But it was kind of covered up by the ecosystem. Everything is fine, everything is normal, this is how it is supposed to be, this is normal. But the pandemic has really exposed the failure of the system. Okay, since the pandemic happened, things are bare bone, right? You can't really. Earlier what was happening was that some employers were ready to take on the risk of hiring you and training you. They have to hire someone, right? So they were hiring at least some people who at least had some signs that they're intelligent, they're hardworking, at least they were getting hired, and the system was training them. So if you were counting on the system, now you know that it was a bad idea, right? Even if you do everything they asked you to do and you graduate, and you don't get a job, nobody's there to like say, oh, it was our fault. It is primarily they'll say you did not study properly, you did not do things properly, right? So many months since graduation, many still don't have jobs. A large portion of the people who graduated in 2020, they don't have jobs, and it is worse in some cases. Many of them have accepted dead-end jobs that hide unemployment by paying a very small stipend. If you're getting paid 5,000, 8,000, you may feel lucky in this market that at least kuch to hai. Maybe next year things will get better, right? Do you know people? I don't know if there is anyone here in that situation, right? That you're already doing a job, but you might as well not do it. I mean, you are not getting, you don't see how you're going to grow, how you're going to get any advantage out of this job. You're not getting enough money. It's okay if you don't get enough money, you're okay with that, but you don't even see how it is going to. And it is all being blamed on the pandemic, that it happened because of lockdown. Otherwise, I would have got a job, blah, 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 right? Economy goes up and comes down all the time. Like sometimes it is a cycle. Economy picks up and then there is a big demand for hiring people and some people get hired. Yeah. And then economy comes down as well. Indian economy was a downward trend even before the pandemic hit. So it's not like you can pretend that the market will also be so good that even if you don't know anything, people will hire you and train you. That is not the case, right? So anyway, what is done is done. You have now graduated without a job and you are trying to figure out how to get a job. You thought, okay, maybe in 3 months I'll get a job. Maybe in 6 months I'll get a job. And it has been people who graduated in June, July. Some people's even graduation was delayed because of exams were not held, right? So some people graduated in October, November, and you thought that, okay, if I graduate, I have my mark sheet, I get registered in the bar council, then I'll get a job. And then still you are struggling. People, sometimes you thought, people told you, oh, at least you get your bar council registration, then you will get a job. And they have got the bar council registration and they still are not finding opportunities.